We've made some changes to the archive tool on the online application, and I'm going to walk you through how to set up those new changes. Let's start by looking at the archive tool. So hover over Management and select Applicant Utilities. It defaults to the Archive Applicant screen. This is where you would go to select the date range of applicants you want to archive. So anybody who hasn't logged on but since the date you choose would be selected to be archived. And then you also have to decide what items you want to delete as part of your archive. The new feature is we've given you the ability to choose which checklist items to delete as well as part of that archive. So let's go over the setup for that piece. So hover over System Manager and select Lookup Tables. And you're going to open the Checklist Activities table under the Shared Lookup Tables. You'll see a new column added here called Delete on Archive. When you archive applicants, you now have the ability to choose which items you want deleted so that they would have to redo them if they chose to log back in and the system unarchived them. So a good example of something you might want to delete during archive is the requirement page. So if you use the requirement page, you might want applicants to have to redo them when they come back. So to do so, you click the pencil, open the item, and you're just going to check this new box, this new field, Delete on Archive, and save your work. All right, so now the system would know that any applicants that had that particular item, if you check the Delete on Archive during your archive process, it will also delete the information associated with this checklist item. Other common checklist items where you would most likely use this would be any of the addendums. So if I go to page 2 here, you can see I have all my different addendums. So if I had a bus, if I had applied as a bus driver and I did that addendum, when I got archived, that addendum would be removed, all that information, the checklist item would be removed. So if I came back as an applicant, I wouldn't get that addendum added back unless I applied for a new bus driver job. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, so after you've decided what items you want to remove or not remove, then you're ready to do your archive. So just as review, we're going to go back to Management, Applicant Utilities, and you would enter the date. So this is the last visited date. So anybody prior to that date would be included in the archive. So we're going to go enter that date. Okay, and then you have to choose what items you might want to delete or remove from the applicant's account during the archive. I'm just going to select everything. So I'm going to choose to delete any documents that they uploaded. So that would require them to have to redo them if they came back. Any documents that HR may have uploaded to their application. I'm also going to choose for the system to wipe clean their addendum, so to delete them. So if they came back, I would want them to redo them in essence. Same with reference information. I would like, a copy of, I would want more up-to-date references. Disclosure. So if you choose disclosure, it's going to erase the disclosure and actually set that applicant back to guest to force them to go completely through their profile and update everything before they have access to their checklist again. And then the last item, I'm going to also choose to delete any of those checklist items I want to include in my archive process. Then I press my archive button. The system's going to run through your list of applicants, find anybody that meets that criteria, and it's going to delete all those things. And it's going to, when it's done, it's going to provide you with a report of anybody that was included in your archive. And you can save that if you want, just so you have a list of who may or may not have been archived. You also have the ability, after you've archived, to go and search who was archived so you can still see some of their data. You just click on this middle tab, Search Archive, and you would look up the applicant by last name. And you can pull up their old summary. And just a reminder, once an applicant's archived, they don't show up under applicant search anymore. However, all they have to do is log back in, or you can shadow them and the system will automatically unarchive them. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to contact support and we'll walk you through the process and take care of you. Thanks.